And now your host, Noreen McClendon.
Dreams that died, right? They were a whole person before they ever became your mother. So they brought all of that to the table. And then when you talk about people who had children young, we talking teenage mothers, 15, 16, 17. What the hell did we know? Well, okay, well, let me tell the truth. I thought I knew everything at 14. Okay.
Oh God, I would have smacked you.
I knew. I'm just telling you, Monica, I knew everything. Yeah, right. Whatever. No, you didn't. You didn't know nothing. In fact, right now, there are too many times. So my mother died in 2004. Excuse
Oh
me.
wow.
And I can promise you, since then, from then till now, there are still things that I'm apologizing to her for. That I told her she was wrong about stuff, or at least in my head, that I thought she was wrong. And it's like, oh no, she knew exactly what she was talking about. This is my thing. She was right again. You know what I'm saying? Like she was right about so much stuff. But of course, like with my son now, my son acts like I didn't live no life before him. Like, well, you need to do this. You need to do that, son. I was, you know what I'm saying? I got all these years behind me. I got gray hair and stuff. You don't think I like before you showed up on the scene? How you got to be so great and I'm so deficient in my understanding? What's I don't. And he always clown me. He say, "Oh, you want to stay dumb, huh?"
Oh,
He's silly.
he
He's
should
silly.
have died then.
But then he wonder why I like my grandkids better than him. Well, now you
Right.
know why, right? But Monica, I get him back though. Trust me. He tell me stuff. He told me one day, he said, you know what? I didn't even ask to be born. I said, and I didn't want you, so let's call it even.
Oh shit.
He said, Mom, he said, that's low even for you. He said, listen, he said, you got me rethinking my whole life. I said, but look, but think about this. Don't matter whether I wanted you, what did I do once you got here? I took care of your ass. So
Right.
I could have did a whole lot of stuff. I said, your father begged me every day to have a baby, and you see how that turned out. So he wanted you and I didn't. Okay, but I took care of you. But it was too, like I said, we clown each other, whatever. But I was like, it didn't matter. So again, all of that to say our perception of something is different, and how we function starts in childhood. I can honestly say I feel good because that first relationship is something. I look at the kind of wife that my son chose, and her sensibilities are very much like mine. So that's a good thing to me. Because a man usually they either want to like her or nothing like her. Like their moms. If they had a lot of respect for her and then they want women similar to them. So that's one of the things that's important. But again, remembering that our parents had a life and they were people first before they became parents, and children don't come with a manual.
Oh, they don't.
They don't come with a manual. We don't nobody tells us, okay, so on page so and so of the manual, it's going to tell you what to do about this.
Millennials think they do.
Well, yeah, they say, what the hell is they? The infamous they.
When I was in
Hey.
California, in San Bernardino, they had me do the scared straight thing, and I used to tell the girls that you don't come with instructions. Your mother does the best she can. Nobody knows how to parent. Nobody knows. And then I be talking about Dr. Spock, who didn't raise black, Asian, Hispanic, any other type of children, but he was around white kids. We don't raise our kids.
And his child committed suicide. So clearly he didn't have all the answers, or even whatever answers he had didn't serve everybody. It didn't serve his son because his son committed suicide.
Whose son?
Dr. Spock, he's like this world-renowned child psychologist or something. And a lot
Oh,
of people quote him as if, he had the answers to everything. But because no two people are exactly the same, what he's saying may not work for this particular child. And it's not to say that he didn't have nothing good to say. It's just that he didn't know everything about everything. And like Cheryl said, he wasn't dealing with all kinds of kids. He was dealing with the kids he was dealing with, right? And circumstances matter. You know, was telling the story a couple of weeks ago about some kids that grew up in one of my properties, and as a property manager, we had rules and regulations, and those rules and regulations apply to the kids. And but the older granddaughter had been there for a minute. The two younger ones came, but the older one, she actually was in the middle. She was 5 years old when she came to our building, but she had been raising herself and her little sister for 5 years, because she was only 5, but the mother was on drugs most of the time. So she was fending for herself, feeding her sister. You know, she's very protective of her sister. But when she came to live in our building, I couldn't just tell her, I couldn't just say nothing. Like, I had to negotiate with her like I'm negotiating with an adult, or at least have a conversation with her like I would an adult. Why? Because she had been on her own for 5 years. The fact that she was only 5 years old was irrelevant. But you think about, if you've been on your own for 5 years, who's gonna tell you anything? What are they gonna tell you? You can't tell me nothing, because I've been making this happen for 5 years by myself. And literally, this little girl, I would have to, and she was so straightforward though. She was so straightforward. The older one, who had been with the grandparents longer, would lie, and she was sneaky. This one was straight out. I would say, "Did you do this?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I wanted to."
Oh,
Okay, but I can't allow you to do that, because I can't let the other kids do that. So I had to like talk to her, like I had to explain some stuff to her. I didn't get to just tell her what to do and that's it. You know what I'm saying? She needed, communication with me. And I had to give her that, because I understood, oh my gosh, she been on her own. She been raising herself and her little sister, who was 2, since that little girl had been around. And you could tell she had been raising the little sister, because the little sister, whenever she cried, she ran straight to her. But that was probably because she was the only one around, right? She was the only one who fed her, the only one, because the mom was on drugs. Who knows how many days they was left in that house by themselves to fend for themselves? Who knows what she had to do to get meals? So again, just because she was only 5, she had been grown for 5 years, having to take care of herself. She never had the luxury to be a child, and so you couldn't just treat her the same way that I would treat the other kids in the building who maybe had 2 parents and they was only 5 years old. I couldn't treat her the same, because she wasn't having it. She had been through some stuff. She had been on her own, and she knew what that was like. But again, all of that comes from what happened very early on, right? And this is where most of us get our view of ourselves, our view of people, and our view of the world, is through our relationships with our parents and people very early on. And I want to read this to you guys. Silver and gold in their natural state are mixed with rocks. To get the silver and gold out of the rocks, they must be crushed very small and heated to a high temperature to melt and remove the impurities, called dross. It is a lot of trouble to go through, but the end result is something precious, beautiful, and valuable. The universal power removes dross in us. It is careful to use only the right amount of heat to remove it. Sometimes that heat is in the form of pain, hard work, death of a loved one, separation, losing a business, and other seemingly traumatic events. And so what we wind up with is understanding this. We're going to all go through something. And and this will be my question for you guys as a form of checkout, okay? Tell me any times that you were being heated and found that at the end that dross was being removed and you came out shining like a silver and gold. Like what kind of things can you look at and say, oh gosh, this felt bad to me at the time, but at the end of the day, it really was good for me. And I'll start with I'm gonna start checkout. This is unusual, but I'm gonna start checkout first and give you mine. So in 1992, I was fired from a law firm. And it was the first time I had ever been fired. So I was shocked, you know. But what I now know, looking back on it, is it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it released me from the job that I had that I wasn't never going to quit because I was making too much money, doing too little work. And it led me to working for the nonprofit that my mom was the executive director of, that led to a career in construction management and a lot of other things that I do doing real estate development that I never would have gotten there. So it felt like heat and pressure when I was fired, but it turned out for me career wise to be the best thing that ever happened to me. So that's an example of the kinds of things that I'm asking. So I want to ask, I'm going to start with you. Hi, Herbie. How are you? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
I'm sorry that I haven't been here for the past couple of weeks. I've been I have finally got me a little job, so I've been working. So
I'm so glad because child, I need me a raise. I need a loan. I need a loan. And you got that job just in time. Woo! Hallelujah. Herbie got him a job. Now I get that
yes,
loan.
so I'm grateful for that. Well, for me, I would have to say when I was incarcerated, when I was doing my transition, it was an individual that I met while I was working. We didn't too much get along, but by me not talking to him, it was the attitude that I had, right? So several months later, he got out. A year later, I ended up getting out. I ran into him to a little resource center, and we seen each other. We looked at each other, and I took it upon myself to say what's up to him. And when I said that, he greeted himself and everything, and it went good to a point to where he gave me so much information that I needed that helped me out. The reason I got this job,
Oh, okay. See,
and
that's
that was a
awesome. I
blessing.
love that. I love
That
that.
was a blessing on the real.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Absolutely wonderful.
that was
And see,
mine
it was
right
like,
there.
but see, had you not swallowed your pride
Exactly.
and humbled yourself, and all of that feels like pressure at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're not willing, it feels like pressure. But at the end of the day, got rid of the dross, got rid of the pride, the ego, set that aside, and now you got information that helped you. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, and I'll be glad you were able to join us, and we'll
Thank you.
see you whenever you can.
No.
Oftentimes, the guys they apologize for not being here, but the one thing that we know about being on a level 5 yard, which is the world out here, is sometimes life be lifing and you can't make it.
No.
And you have things that you need to take care of for you. So
Right.
it's okay. You don't ever owe us an apology. I'm just glad that we can be here when you can be here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Come back, we can still be here to be that support system because that's what we're here for. Is to support each other. So that's awesome, and congratulations on the job. I
Thank you.
gotta say, I'm gonna have to come see you because you know what I'm saying. You put mine on the side. You know what I'm saying. You ain't got to break a lot. You know what I'm saying.
All right.
You ain't got, but just little, just one or two. You know what I'm saying.
Look,
Put on the
look, you
side
make it
for me,
way
and I
more
come
than me.
holler.
All right, thank you.
All right. How about you, D-Dub?
Man,
Times where you felt like it was under pressure and
oh yeah, I'm just barely getting through the day. Yeah, we're moving, still the finishing touches on the move for my
yeah.
girlfriend's parents passing away. We finally got everything kind of out of there, and just I'm living, I'm living right here with my dog. But yeah, I'm in a small. I'm in confined into this shed basically, but it's like a business. It's like a little office, really. It's nice with my. I'm actually living with my first cellie back from '96 through. We were cellies from '96 to '99. He's looked out for me since he's been out for like 15 years, but I've only been out for 2, and he's looked out for me every step of the way. So like, and it was. I guess I could leave it or make this part of the share, or as according to the topic, because I had no idea that he was going to be looking out for me this tough at all. I mean, it was just like the shocker, because we had lost touch basically for 20 something years. And I get out and he's right there, like, hey, I got some work for you. Like, you can come stay with me if you need to. You know, he hooked me up with his sister-in-law, and I'm dating her for over a year and a half now. And yeah, without him, I don't know what my life, what level 5 would be. You know, I'd be stuck. I mean, I didn't look. People, I had a similar experience as Herbie, but like in the opposite way, I guess. But like, this dude looked out for me. He said, "Yeah, you got to get your act together and reform your life, right?" Because I was just languishing in prison. I didn't care, and I was just gonna stay in there. But he somehow, I mean, besides me getting off of drugs at the same time, but like, he talked me into going to groups and stuff, and actually signing me up for groups. And the twist on it is he got out a little bit about a year before me, and when I got out here, he was already doped up and just running amok and just bad shape. He was trying to hold down, a job and stuff, but it wasn't working out. And he was just, he's using. He went back to his old ways. And the last thing I talked to him, he came and tracked me down during one of my routes, asking for $100 or something, because he's going on the run. He's out of here. You can't. So it's kind of a twist on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he helped me immensely, like helped me, just prodded me into getting out and reforming, or try to get out. And then I get out and he's not what he, supposed to be. But anyhow, so he's not doing good, but I am. And I guess that's all I could think about right now.
Okay.
But
well, it's always good to have you with us, and I'll keep you in my prayers, babe.
All right, thanks so much. Good to see you. I'll be back next week.
All right, sweetie. Wonderful. And Mr. Carlos, oh my God, we actually even got you on camera. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. Can you unmute? Unmute. Can you look at the screen? Unmute. Monica, can you speak Spanish?
Sí. Carlos, le tienes que empujar al micrófono porque estás en mute. No se te oye. Abajo, si le haces clic, va a salir. Abajo está así en rojo. No, esa es la cámara. Es la cámara. I think he can't see the mute. Porque cuando entraste a la llamada, te oíamos y te dijo Noreen, por favor, hazle mute. Otra vez empuja ese botón.
It's okay. I can give him credit.
Yeah, please give him credit.
I absolutely, because he's here. I even got to see him. I even got to see him. So I'm going to Monica, ask you to go ahead, and any times where you felt like you've been under pressure and it was just cleaning out the room for some good.
I think the last time I was on the call, I think I expressed how much I dislike my kid's father, and right. So my son has been going through some difficulty in the last few months. And I think I've talked to him more than I have in the last 30 years this year. And I can honestly say that I don't hate him anymore. I don't call him the sperm donor. I don't call him the asshole. I don't call him many worse things, but if you knew my story, you'd be like, you would understand. Yeah. However, he got off of drugs when a motorcycle hit him and he could have died, and he didn't die. He got another chance.
Okay.
And now he's totally there for my sons. He's even there for my parents, taking them to the doctors, cleaning my mom's kitchen. My mom barely told me yesterday. So, people change, and people want to do good. And I just said, God, please take this hate out of me towards him, and you be the judge of him. And I mean, today I spoke to him and his sister, because his sister just lost her daughter to she overdosed on fentanyl a couple weeks ago. So I grew up with these people, and that little girl, I knew her, she was born, so it's been a really rough week, 2 weeks for my sons, and him and I have been talking, and he's the eyes on the ground and I'm the ears to my kids. So we both share what our kids tell us, what they're doing, because both of them are going through some shit right now, death and girlfriends and all that. They're, but so now when you were saying that, I'm like, I don't have, when I see his phone number, I don't always pick it up, but I pick it up and I don't have that, judgmental attitude. I want, like they said, who are you to judge? And I need to take that out of my system going forward so I can have better relationships with whoever, because I take things so personal when they tell me something and I'm like, and even if it's blatant what they see in their face and they're still disagreeing with me, I have to learn to, what, they see what they see and hear, and you see what you hear and see. It's so, just let them
Oh,
be.
that is so wise, right? My cousin was laughing today.
But girl, it's gonna take a lot of rewiring in my
Well,
head.
that's what me and my cousin were laughing about. Like, she was saying she was giving somebody some advice, and she goes, "But I don't take that advice for myself. I need to start taking my own advice, right?" I said, and we all do that, right? It's so much easier for me to offer it to you. It becomes as plain as day if I'm talking to you. But then when it come to me, I forget all about what I.
My sister just said that yesterday.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But let me tell you, I'm telling you, the not taking things personal saved my life. It did, because because what would cause me to fight was the personal affront. And in a situation with a family member, I'm sure that if I took it personal and fought back because I was hurt, one of us would have died. At least one, if not both, or we would have wound up. Somebody would have been in prison, and I mean, it would have
Oh,
been really, really bad, because I tend to fight when I'm hurt more than mad, and
mm-hmm.
there was a lot of hurt involved. And if I took it personal for 1 minute and started fighting back, oh, it would have been awful. It would have been awful. So, Don Miguel Ruiz, if you don't get the book, read it again.
I have it.
Take it
Yeah.
personal, read it again, because it saved me. It saved my life. And so, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure it's got to feel better not to feel that, that,
And
you
and him and his sister called me today, the one that lost her daughter. And I hadn't spoken to her in about 7 years because she ended up going to prison. She's going in and out of rehab. Their stories, they're victims of victims, right?
yeah,
And I grew up with them. I grew up with them since I was 16, and they both told me, "We miss you." And I was like, wow. And then they were all together, and I just, you know, we were all together when we became parents, and we all took different turns. Like, look where I'm at. I'm deported, without family ties that are in the next city. I'm just here. However, the beauty of technology, they can see me, we can, connect, because I am
yeah,
all about connecting. So
that's awesome.
yeah, I don't have that,
And that's
I used,
good, because that
oh
hurts
God.
you too. When you in that space, you secrete hormones that ain't good for your body. And
Mhm.
heavens knows they don't deserve that, right? Whatever it was that they did,
Yeah,
So that's a good thing. That's awesome.
yeah,
Thank you. I'm gonna
yeah.
come to the people in the room. Anything for you, Davion, where you felt like it was pressure? Move that and come up a little bit. Like there was pressure or whatever, and it turned out to be something good for you.
Yeah, my last term, when I was fighting all the cases and stuff, and the outcome already was.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, just going county to county, I thought I was never gonna get out. But then after it was all said and done, wound up being all right.
Okay, good. How about you, Miss Roberta?
So I have not several, but I think I'm gonna just decide on this one, and it was me moving.
Ah.
It was me moving because I didn't really want to, and I was finding all the excuses. She was getting on my mother's nerves, and she kept pushing. You need to talk, and she was And I was going to Noreen and I was still, I don't want to be in love. It was just a lot because I really didn't. And then I found that not only how much more I felt good just being in my own space by myself. And you can call me, I'll be like, yeah, I'm here, like enjoying my rent. Enjoying in my own space. Look on the couch. With a t-shirt on. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I understand. Yeah.
And then, you know, just breaking away from situations and just knowing that it was probably the best thing. Like we will always be the best of friends. But now I know I couldn't have did that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
then we was gonna be real toxic. We was going back to jail, both of us.
See, okay. And that is not where we're trying to be, right? That's awesome.
Real grateful for that movie.
That's awesome.
I like the fact that you can call her and she'll say, "Are you talk to her?" She said, I didn't took my clothes off. She just want to stay home,
baby. Don't I know it? You'd be hard pressed to get me out. So what about for you, darling?
If seriously, I'm still thinking. It's like it's so much.
So much.
It's my life. It's my life. So,
but you understand the principle that you know what I'm saying, that under that pressure. So you know what? I get so abused around here. It's just terrible. I get so abused.
Who's abusing you?
Sure. Listen, let me tell you something. And we lucky it's only Cheryl right now, because I tell you it could be a lot worse. But I just want to say to everybody, thank you guys for being here. Carlos, thank you for being here, sweetie. I'm gonna give you your credit this evening. And we will see you guys next week at Free to Heal. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and give us your comments. Okay, you guys have a good one here.
bye.
Bye.